Welcome back to the silver series. So in the first video we talked about how to invest in physical silver. I showed you some of my favorite dealers that I use, some of the favorite ways I invest in physical silver, the things you need to think about, things like VAT, storing the silver, security, and making sure you don't buy fakes, certain forums, places like eBay you can buy from, Facebook forums, and so on and so forth. In the second video, we moved on to talking about buying paper silver or ETFs. So rather than buying the actual metal itself, you're investing in a company that owns a fund that tracks the price of silver. That way you don't have to worry about storing the silver, you don't have to worry about keeping them safe in the home, you don't have to worry about anything to do with handling physical silver. All you're buying is a claim to the price. Now, the advantage of that, of course, is that you're highly liquid, which means you can buy and sell as long as the stock market is open. It also means that you're not exposing yourself to any sort of theft. You don't have to worry about keeping it in a vault. It's all nice and simple for you. Now, in this video, we're going to move on to the third main way of investing in silver, and that's investing in mining companies, or silver miners as they're known. Now, with this particular one, you're not investing in paper silver, i.e. ETFs. You're not investing in physical silver, which is the actual physical metal itself, but you're investing in companies that mine silver. Now, bearing in mind that this is a company that will have its own risk, so things like the management structure, the profits and losses, you're now taking on additional risk as opposed to just taking on the risk of the price movement of silver. The advantage, however, is that once you invest in this kind of companies, if they do well, you can also get dividends. So unlike physical silver and paper silver, where you don't get any dividends, these companies tend to pay dividends. And depending on how well they do, it can be quite substantial. So let's dive straight into it. I'm going to share my screen now. So to find those, you go back to your favorite platform. So in this case, I'm using Trading 212. Simply type in silver, and you see the likes of Pan American Silver, First Majestic, Discovery Silver. These are all companies that mine silver and also sell silver. So let's use the Pan American, for example. Again, you can see the performance there. That shows you the chart. You can see how it's done over the past year. So 84.28% up. So they've done really well over the past 12 months. You can see over the performance over 3 months, 1 month, 1 week and 1 day. So overall, it looks like this company has done quite well recently. Even though there was a massive dip there in 2022, it looks like, and then it's just recovered nicely ever since. So if you scroll down a little bit, you get more information on this company. So it tells you volatility high. It's silver. Silver tends to be quite high volatility. That just means that the price goes up and down quite a lot. It tells you the market cap of the company. So the number of shares times the price per share is the market cap. So that tells you how big the company is. The average volume, so 5.03 million, that's how many transactions happen on average. The PE ratio, that's price to earning ratio. So I don't know if you remember from the analysis with the stock videos, anything 25 or above will be regarded as expensive. Anything 25 and below will be seen as cheap to reasonable. So 23.82 means it's a fairly reasonably priced company. So you're looking at how much it costs you for every pound invested. The dividend yield, so again, if this company makes the profits, they'll give you £1.21% dividend yield. That means for every pound invested, you get £1.21 pence back over the year. Remember, this is per year. So if you want to look at their financials, see how the company's performed, you can see there's a gradual increase there. So overall, it seems like a decent company to invest in. And if you want to read a bit more about them, you just click on full view there, give that a read, make sure you're happy with them. So they don't just do silver, they do gold, zinc, lead, and all sorts. You just go back in there, and let's say you're happy with that, you want to invest in this company. You scroll back up, you find the buy. So again, bear in mind, this is a on a laptop rather than on the phone, so the view might be different. Also, if you're looking on a different platform, so maybe Interactive Investor or AJBL, their platform might look different. So either way, they'll have a buy button there somewhere. So you got market or limit order. I'm not talking about stop or stop limits in this case. You type in how much you want to spend, or if you want to change that, you can change that to the number of shares you want to buy. So I can put there instead, I want to buy, I don't know, 0.4, and it tells you the amount there instead. And then you can just click on review order. Market order means you'll try its best to find the closest price to the current screen price. And then this summary gives you it tells you what you're about to purchase. So market buy, 0.04 shares. This is the price you're paying, is £1.02. Commission is free. Some platforms will charge you, so make sure you check that out before you do it. The FX transaction fee, so because we're buying in dollars and our local currency is pounds, there's going to be an exchange rate there, so that's what that's telling you, and the total price. So you just click on send buy order and jobs are good done. When the market opens on Monday, that'll execute, and then you own yourself a share of this particular company. Alternatively, if you want to use a market order, a limit order, you go in there, use the slider, put how many shares you want to buy or the value of it, tell it the maximum you want to pay. So I might put £35, let's say, and then I'll review the order and then send a buy order, and again when that is ready, that'll execute. So in this case, I've bought one particular miner, silver miner. If you wanted to buy an ETF rather than just a stock of one company, you can still type in silver miners, and in this case you can buy an ETF. So the ETF is a bundle of assets. So in this particular case, this bundle will have different miners in it. So if you want to look at that, let's scroll down. Again, just the usual checks that I normally carry. Look at the max. You got a nice upward trajectory over the past year, 90.77% up over 3 months, over 1 month. So you can see that silver miners have done really well recently. Then I would check things like the volatility there, the 52 week highs and lows. So this was trading as low as £10.39 within the last year, and as high as £21.38. So if you look on there, we are trading pretty close to the all-time highs here with this particular one. But let's say we're happy with this. This is what we're going to go with. You simply click on buy. Again, you choose market or limit order, put what you want to purchase in there. So I'm going to change that back to value. So I want £1 worth. So simply type in £1, and then you review the order, read the summary again, and click on buy, and I'll send the buy request. Or you click on buy, you click on limit order if that's where you want to go. Again, use the slider. In my case, I prefer that. Tell them the most you want to pay, so I'm going to put in, I don't know, £22. That's the maximum I'm willing to pay. Read the summary, send that. So rather than buying just the one gold miner company like we did previously, now you've bought an ETF that has a number of silver miner companies in. So that's another way of investing in silver. So in this one particular case, you won't get dividends. With the other one, you'll get dividends. So bear that in mind as well. So I've told you a little bit of silver. I've told you why people love to invest in silver. I've told you how to decide on what to invest in, the different options in physical silver, things like coins, bars, coins that are legal tender. So things like the Britannia will be capital gains exempt when you go to sell them. Bars will not. You'll have to pay capital gains. So if the value you sell it at versus what you paid for it, if there's a profit there, the government will tax you for it, and you'll have to pay that if you are in a place like the UK. In certain countries, that's not the case. All physical silver well, not all, most physical silver purchase in the UK will be VAT, you will have to pay VAT on, versus if you bought them, you can store them in other countries like Switzerland that are VAT exempt. So you still own the silver, but it's just not stored in the UK, which means you don't have to pay the UK VAT. Just bear in mind that you're now in the hands of the person you're entrusting your silver with. If that company goes bust, something dodgy happens, then you might not be able to get hold of your silver. So just another thing to bear in mind. Alternatively, you can invest in silver ETFs like the ones I showed you, or you can invest in something like a silver miner ETF or individual silver miner stocks like the one I showed you. So we've covered a lot here. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything in there, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you click on our notification, and share. There are people who are very much interested in investing in silver. Make sure you pass this on to them, let them learn, because the money we invest today is what will pay us back in the future. If you have any comments, any questions, let me know what you're investing in. Do you have any Britannias? Do you have any silver bars? Are you investing in other things, maybe gold? Leave a comment below. Any questions, get back in touch with me. Don't forget, this is Roman Investor. Join me next time.